We are back for round 2, and Guang, I'm gonna need you to tune in because I'm spitting some straight facts here. Like I said in my last video, we have a severe lack of villains in Marvel Rivals. We have Ultron, Venom, Magneto, Emma Frost, Hela, and a lot of them have turned a new leaf since their villain arcs. I would say like Ultron and Hela are the only pure villains in the game. With Marvel's massive villain catalog, it really surprises me that we have very few villains in the game. I guess they really are living up to a hero shooter. This is my top 5 villains that I would add into Marvel Rivals, part dos. Just to catch everybody up, these are my top 5 picks from my other videos, so I guess these are gonna be top 6 through 10. Now, I did go a little bit tank heavy for this video, but I did include something for everybody. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. First up on my list, we have Dr. Octavius. And no, just because he has doctor in his name, he's not gonna be a strategist. I'm putting this man at tank, and a wall-crawling tank at that. This would be a perfect solution for all those pesky flyers and those swinging spiders. Maybe he has this ability where he can like shoot a projectile out of his tentacle to like stun you. I'm thinking his arms are gonna work like Groot's or Mr. Fantastic's. Maybe he has this ability where he can like grab you and fucking throw you across the map. This is such a unique character and would be a great addition to Marvel Rivals. Next up on my list, we have Mystique, and this one's gonna be a little bit hard to pinpoint, but I'm gonna throw her at strategist, mainly because her main tactical advantage is deception. Now, while she's not known as the healing type, I feel like we can kind of treat it like Deadpool and just kind of have her shoot to heal. Now, her main superpower, the main reason why I put her in strategist, is shape-shifting. She can perfectly copy the appearance and the voice of someone. The only catch is she cannot copy the superpowers. I'm thinking she can have like a sleeper agent kind of ability where she can pretend to be on the other team, where it looks like she's one of their own teammates, but in reality you look around, you have 7 teammates versus 5 enemies, and you're like, what? Maybe her ult can be like a area where everyone shapeshifts, and then to the enemy it looks like everyone in that circle is their own team, and then all of a sudden they got to fight their own teammate, and then it turns out it's their actual teammate, not the enemy. Deception, strategy. I can kind of see how this would work in the game, but I can kind of see how this is kind of bland as well. Now for the Mad Titan himself, Thanos. I feel like his fighting style would be similar to the Hulk, but a little bit more trained. I'm talking body shots, uppercuts, etc. Now I feel like this would be one of those characters similar to Wanda, where you're just kind of waiting for the ult. That sweet old snap of the fingers. Now the snap could work in a couple different ways. Either he can snap and half of the entire enemy team dies, he can snap and half of the entire lobby dies, or Thanos could be like a map that we visit, and at a certain point in the match, a snap happens and half the lobby dies. The statistical probability of more dying on one team than the other can severely change a fight. This would be a heavy hitter to add. I don't care if it's the map, the character, we need that snap. We need Thanos to bring balance to Marvel Rivals. You know I had a double dip on Spider-Man's extensive rogue gallery, and how could I not with a character such as unique as Sandman? And I'm gonna be putting Frank Marco at tank. The abilities that you can have with this guy are endless. I'm thinking he could put down like an area of quicksand where if an enemy comes by, they're like fucking stuck or like super slow. Now we can create giant sand fists that extend, so a little bit of a Mr. Fantastic Groot fist going on. Maybe he can trap a character kind of like this in a sand tornado. Now for his ult, I'm thinking he turns into a giant sand kaiju monster, similar to how he was in Spider-Man 3, and kind of similar to how White Folks, the enemy team can like shoot at him, sand falls off him, kind of breaking down the ult, kind of similar to how you can destroy White Fox's ult pretty quickly if you pay attention. He can even have like a quick ability where he like moves around as a sand pile. I don't know. I feel like there's abilities that I'm not even thinking about, but I feel like this would be a unique character to add to the game and another great villain from Spider-Man's rogue gallery. And last but not least, on the total opposite end of Mystique, we have Taskmaster, the man who can perfectly copy the fighting style of whoever he is fighting. Obviously, he still looks like him. He's not fucking shape-shifting. But he will beat the fuck out of you with your own moves. I'm going to be throwing Taskmaster in the DPS position, but I feel like he can kind of like flex. Say he like selects the Hulk. He gets his punching power, he gets a few abilities and maybe a tiny bit more health. If he copies Luna's powers, he can get her freeze and a couple heals off her. It'd be funny seeing him skate around too. I feel like Taskmaster would be the perfect counter to any counter. In the game. With that being said, there is a few lore accurate counters to Taskmaster. 2 characters he will not fight. First up, we have Deadpool, mainly because his fighting style is so unpredictable, but also because his fighting style includes him taking damage. With that also being said, Moon Knight can be resurrected with Khonshu. Multiple times they've fought him, Moon Knight doesn't dodge. He just fucking tanks the hit. He's fucking scared of Moon Knight. So I would like to see how Marvel Rivals adds those counters into the game to counter the counter. Another great addition to Marvel Rivals, I gotta say. And that was my top 5 villains that I would personally add into Marvel Rivals. If I missed any of your favorite villains, drop it in the comment section below. We'll be finishing out the trilogy sooner or later. I want to say thank you to everyone. We just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube and I can't thank y'all enough. I got my Obsession review already shot. I just need to edit that thing. I got my top 5 non-franchise slasher films of all time part 2 that I need to record, so stay on the lookout for those 2 videos. And if you're not already subscribed, come hop in the Paranoid Zone, baby. With that out of the way, I'll see y'all in the next one.